BingX, a trusted global crypto exchange. Trade spot, futures, or copy top traders easily. Sign up via the link or referral code to get 30 USDT instantly, plus up to 1,500 USDT in bonuses for verification, deposit, and trading.
A prominent British university has reportedly halted human rights research into alleged abuses in China following pressure from Beijing, leading to the premature termination of a significant academic project. The Guardian has revealed that Sheffield Hallam University, home to the esteemed Helena Kennedy Center for International Justice, directed one of its leading professors, Laura Murphy, to cease her groundbreaking work on supply chains and forced labor in China back in February. Professor Murphy's research has been pivotal in exposing the plight of Uyghurs, a Muslim minority group subjected to persecution and alleged forced labor programs within China. Her findings, along with those of her colleagues at the center, have been widely referenced by Western governments and the United Nations, playing a crucial role in shaping international policies aimed at eradicating goods produced through forced labor from global supply chains. The Chinese government vehemently denies accusations of forced labor, asserting that its Uyghur work programs are designed for poverty alleviation. The directive for Professor Murphy to halt her research, previously lauded by the university as groundbreaking, came as a shock. The website for her research unit, the Forced Labor Lab, was subsequently taken down, though some reports remain accessible within the university's archives. While Sheffield Hallam University announced in October that it was lifting the ban and issued an apology, the 8-month suspension and the abandonment of previous research underscore the chilling impact of pressure from Chinese authorities on UK academic institutions. Professor Murphy described her initial reaction as confusion, with the university initially citing administrative issues as the reason for discontinuing support for her work. However, further investigation suggested that her academic freedom was potentially being sacrificed for access to the Chinese student market, a revelation she found deeply disturbing. The university has denied that commercial interests were a factor in this decision. This instruction to halt research followed a decision 6 months prior to abandon a planned report on the risks of Uyghur forced labor within critical mineral supply chains. Funding for that research was returned to the original grantor, Global Rights Compliance, a non-profit law foundation. Global Rights Compliance eventually published the research independently in June of this year. Lara Strangways, head of business and human rights at Global Rights Compliance, expressed concern over Sheffield Hallam's decision not to publish, noting that it would inevitably raise questions about why the research ended up being published. Elsewhere, the lifting of restrictions in October followed legal action threatened by Professor Murphy over violations of her academic freedom. However, she remains cautious, expressing uncertainty about the university's future commitment to supporting her work. The decision to halt Murphy's research appears to stem from a confluence of factors. Officially, the university cited concerns for staff safety in China and the withdrawal of professional indemnity insurance coverage by its provider due to a defamation lawsuit filed by a Chinese company named in one of the center's reports. This lawsuit is still ongoing. Furthermore, the UK's updated higher education law places a greater onus on universities to safeguard free speech. However, emails obtained by The Guardian suggest that commercial considerations played a role in limiting Murphy's work. For years, the university has faced criticism in China, coinciding with a decline in student numbers. In the summer of 2022, China's Foreign Ministry spokesperson, Zhao Lijian, characterized the Helena Kennedy Center as a vanguard for anti-China forces. Lady Kennedy, the center's namesake, has herself been sanctioned by Beijing due to her outspoken criticism of China's human rights record. Around the same time, Sheffield Hallam's websites were blocked in China, a move an internal university employee noted in July 2024 likely had a negative impact on recruitment for the 2023-24 academic year. The same employee also wrote, attempting to retain the business in China and publication of the HKC research are now untenable bedfellows. Sheffield Hallam maintains that these internal emails do not reflect university policy and states it does not have significant commercial interests in China, citing that in the 2024-25 academic year, only 73 students from China, representing 1.7% of its international student body, were enrolled. James Murray, a specialist in academic freedom at Doyle Clayton Law Firm, described the university banning research due to perceived legal risks as a highly pernicious practice which is a serious threat to academic freedom. Regarding concerns about staff safety, he deemed a complete ban on research excessive. A spokesperson for Sheffield Hallam stated that the decision to halt Professor Murphy's work was based on a complex set of circumstances, including the inability to secure necessary professional indemnity insurance. The university has since approved Professor Murphy's latest research and is committed to supporting her, apologizing for the previous halt and reaffirming its dedication to academic freedom and freedom of speech within legal boundaries. As early as 2022, Professor Murphy's work was identified as a potential risk. In an email addressing the Foreign Ministry's attacks, the then Vice-Chancellor, Sir Chris Husbands, wrote of a perverse satisfaction in being singled out by the Chinese government. Despite acknowledging potential impacts on Chinese student recruitment, another significant concern arose in April 2024 when 3 state security officers visited Sheffield Hallam's Beijing office. An employee was interrogated for 2 hours about the Helena Kennedy Center, with an internal summary of the meeting indicating a threatening tone and a clear directive to cease research activities. This interrogation is believed to have triggered the chain of events leading to the university's compliance with Chinese authorities' demands. Strangways commented that there was a general sense of intimidation that prevented the publication of research. Emails reviewed by The Guardian reveal staff grappling with how to manage their relationship with China. In September 2024, the university informed Chinese state security that it would not proceed with the final phase of its forced labor research in China, a decision that an administrator noted immediately led to improved relations. A spokesperson for the Office for Students, the regulator for the higher education sector, stated that the suppression of research due to the disapproval of a foreign government is unacceptable in practically any circumstances. Claire Powell, a solicitor representing Professor Murphy, described the case as extremely serious and troubling, raising broader concerns about academic freedom across UK universities. During these internal discussions, Professor Murphy was on leave, working with the US government on legislation to block imports from Xinjiang due to forced labor concerns. Upon her planned return to Sheffield Hallam at the beginning of this year, she was informed that she would not be permitted to continue her research on China by Professor Cyril Dillon, the director of the Helena Kennedy Center. Ironically, in 2021, Professor Dillon had written to Professor Murphy expressing immense pride in her work, stating, "We are all exceptionally proud of this body of work, which rightly shines light on the blatant abuse of Uyghur rights in China." A UK government spokesperson affirmed that any attempt by a foreign state to intimidate or harm individuals in the UK will not be tolerated, and the government has communicated this clearly to Beijing following this case. The spokesperson also highlighted that robust measures, including updated powers and offences under the National Security Act, are in place to prevent such activities.